Hello, good morning, happy hot Sunday. Let's see, let's just refresh my laptop. Is there anybody out there? Good morning, just sort my laptop out. Good morning everybody. Oh, I'm there, I'm by you, and there's 4 people by there. Who's enjoying the heat? Hi Pam. Hi everybody who's watching. Should we try and cool down? Normally when it's sunny I think everyone's going to be outside in their gardens gardening, but it's too hot for that. I tried to cut the grass yesterday. Well, I did cut the grass yesterday, nearly killed me. And then spent the rest of the day with my feet in a paddling pool, which I bought for the grandchildren. Hi Wendy, hi Lish. Morning Cornwall. Morning Christine, Jackie, Jude. Morning everybody. I presume it's hot everywhere. It was 31 here yesterday. Good grief, it was hot. So as you can see in my pictures, I bought a paddling pool for the grandchildren, but actually it was for me. And I have repurposed the water to water the plants last night. Good morning, Elaine and Moya. Right, prize for the first one to order in the early hours is Moya this time. You beat Laura. Laura's normally my fellow insomniac, so well done Moya. I'm going to have to start doing prizes for who gets up and orders the earliest. Morning Catherine, hi Debbie, hi Jane, hi Sonia. Right, should we get on? I've got a maths question as usual, so I'll just show you what the prizes are while we're waiting for everyone to catch up and join in. Today is 3 Amigos live, so you're off to Cornwall after me and then off to sunny Norfolk after that. So it's a nice weekend holiday, virtual holiday for you. So the usual, there's a prize for everybody who orders, goes into a prize draw. And this week's prize, I found some random fat quarters in a box and a couple of little mini charms. And then there's the usual Mahusive scrap bag for somebody who wins the maths question. So I'll give you the maths question. Borodari and Shmai. I can't stay awake after 11. Hillary. I think I woke up about 1 and put everything on the website, and then I think, was it 3 o'clock? 2:59 I think Moya was up, and then Laura wasn't far behind her, and a couple of others, I think Barbara as well. So I had 5 boxes of fabric arrive this week that I completely forgotten I'd ordered, and I even had an argument with Moda saying I haven't ordered these fabrics. But it turns out I'd ordered them over the phone because I keep everything, because otherwise I forget. I keep lists of everything that I've ordered, and I completely forgot about this. So the conversation went, when I found my emails to Stevie B, was I would order this fabric because it was very French General-ish. It was the nearest we could get to French General because we knew we weren't going to get any French General until Christmas. Hi Kim and Val and Sarah Jane and Jill and anyone else I've missed. So you can help me out because I've now got a huge bill to pay for some brand new Moda fabrics that I wasn't expecting. So which is why there's a very mega offer on today for these fabrics. So they're 3 Sisters fabrics, hot off the press, and there's 9.5 meters of fabric plus a mini charm pack in a box, and it's £100, but it's like nearly it's about a third of the off, so it's about £55 cheaper than you should pay full price. So as you can see, I tormented Jessica, which reminds me I've forgotten to pay her, to roll these up for me the other day before it got too hot, Friday morning in fact, and they're rammed in this box, and then on the box, let's put that back in so I don't forget. On the box it says it's an amusing box because the fabric's called Muse. So it's Muse by Moda, and it's literally just arrived in this country. It's brand new. You won't get this offer anywhere else, touch wood. As far as I know, should I say, before someone sues me. So it's a special offer. If you can afford it, go for it, because it's 9.5 meters of fabric. So where else are you going to get 9.5 meters of fabric plus a mini charm pack? So you can buy, there's also a trio. There's the charm pack, the candy bar and the mini charm, which is, I believe, what's that, 30 something, 32 I think, instead of 42. That's on special offer, but that is at far better value because you've got 9.5 meters of fabric. So if you're thinking you're wanting to buy, make a big quilt, and you like the fabrics, it will mix in when French General comes, because it's quite French Generalish. I think it'll mix in with it. Anyone I've missed, Borodin Mal, Sonia Saunders and Sue Rehal. I always go to say Sue and Pat. Sue, hello. So this is a mega offer. I only made 10 boxes of this, but 10 boxes of fabric's an awful lot of fabric to cut. So that's 380 bits of fabric plus the mini charm pack. And I think I've packed 3 of them so far. So if you want one of these, once they're gone, they're gone. I'm not doing any more of those at that price. So that's an ultra special offer, and it would help me out big time to pay Moda. Otherwise, you can buy the charm packs are on their own. Hi Sarah, did you go to the beach last night? So you can buy the charm pack on your own, on its own. You can buy the candy bar on its own, or you can buy the mini charm on its own. And there are, what's in there, 76 pieces of fabric, so 2 of each. So unlike a Moda, if you bought the Moda, you know, ready-made Moda charm packs, you tend to just get 1 of each fabric, which is really annoying. Hi Liz, hi Tracy. It's really annoying when you're, I like everything to be sort of symmetrical. I can't help myself. So if you only got 1 bit of fabric, it's really annoying. So there's those, and if you want to see what they look like when they're made up, we'll come on to this bag in a minute, but this is the little messenger bags that I've been making. So let's move this chair back so I can show you. So that's the Moda Muse made into something, so it gives you an idea of what it looks like. So you've got the typical reds and pinks in there, but Three Sisters always has a bit of grey in, and the blues. So it's very pretty. This is an old pattern, but I've updated it. I've made the handles longer so it'll sit on your hip kind of thing. So that's sort of a grown-up version of it. Before I go any further, the kids did. Yeah, I don't think I'd fancied the beach last night. It was so hot. For those of you, a lot of people only just joining in, I'll quickly just say the amusing box, I think there are 7 left. If you can afford it, grab it, because it's 9.5 meters of fabric in there. And then there's the trio of pre-cuts, which are on special offer. Other than that, the pre-cuts, excuse me for sniffing, I'm still ill, been tossed still. So what was I going to do? Yeah, I was going to do the maths question before I went on to anything else, before I run out of time. Maths question was, I cut an awful lot of these up on whatever day I cut them. I can't even remember. When did I see Sarah? Tuesday, so I must have cut them Monday. So I cut charm packs, candy bars, mini charm packs, and then all those fat quarters. Someone's cutting the grass now. Hang on, let me shut the door. Right. How many pieces of fabric did I cut? And you know what the usual clue is. So the clue this time is different, so it should give you a bigger clue. The clue is that I cut less than 15,000. So that gives you a big clue. If you're used to my clues every week, that's a clue for this week. Right, so the maths questions, I've done that. Valdani threads, everyone's been ordering the S301, which I'll show you on the new bag in a minute. Valdani's on its way, so there's more sparkles coming, more wildflower collection coming, and more of the S301, which everyone likes, and I can't remember what else. I ordered a load of threads on their own anyway. So they're on the way, they're somewhere between here and Canada. So what should we go on to next? Let's go on to, as I already started, on the little bags. So messenger bags, so it's an old pattern, sort of, I've updated a bit, and every time I do like bulk patterns and kits and stuff, I always make one mistake. So the mistake this week a couple might have slipped through the net that I didn't notice. On the pattern, I was folding them up when Jess was here on Friday, and then I noticed I got to a line at the bottom of the page and it said, it got to the bottom of the page and there was one, the last paragraph started with don't, and then that was it. It just said don't. So I'm thinking everyone's going to get this pattern and think don't what? Don't. So I've unpacked all the kits and repacked them with the correct page, but I don't know if I've posted anyone a pattern in the meantime. And what the sentence said was, when you do the lining for this, I say don't cut the bag lining into this shape because you pin the bag to the bag lining. Speaking of which, please go to Tube and you will see my video on how to make it. So if you manage to have got one of the patterns that slipped through without me finding that I haven't put the right page in, have a look at the Tube video. But what it said was just don't cut the lining. So when you make the bag, you make the lining the same way, but you don't cut the shape out the top because it's shaped like that at the top, because it makes it easier to sew the lining to the actual bag, and then you trim it afterwards. Okay, so let's show you the bag. So that's the one made with Muse. There isn't a specific kit for this, but you can get the pattern and you can get the mini charm. I've got loads of mini charms cut for that, so I've got like a whole basket of those. A mini charm pack. So there's 70 odd. So mini charm pack will do one side of a bag handle and it will do the whole bag. All I did on here, instead of having there's a dog and a fox on the other one, I've just used a self-cover button. I've got 10 inches of lace and I've just gathered the lace up around the button. So that's more of the grown-up one. There is Mr. Foxy. There are a few kits left of this. I know I've packed a couple this morning. So the kits for this will come as this one is. So there's enough to make the bag handles with the, it's basically 2 of the mini charms. So you can buy little Foxy mini charms, but you would need 2 to make the bag. So I've cut double mini charms to make the bag for the kits. And then you've got a piece of yarn dye. And that is stitched with the Valdani, the S303. So I've ordered more of that as well, so there's not many of those left. And again, self-cover button, and on the back it's that. And then there's, this was the first one I did that I showed you, so the pretty Japanesey fabrics on that one. So there's a little doggy on that one, and the kits for this, I didn't put the lining in because all I used for lining in this one was just some cream. So I thought most of you have got some cream fabric or some calico or something at home, so all I put in the kits for this one is just the feature print for the panel, and then the little mini charm for the bag and for the handle, and then there's a self-cover button and the tape and the little doggy. Now it says on the pattern about making a little tab for the bag, which I hadn't had time for to do with these ones, but what I mean is you just cut the appropriate shape. So with the doggy one, you would cut like a little doggy and just put some felt on the back, just because it looks pretty, for no other reason whatsoever. So that was the original one, the hexy triangle one that I did a while ago. Same fabrics, different colour. So there's 3 of those that I've made this week before it got too hot, and that's your choice. So there's kits for Foxy, kits for that. That's just mini charm and pattern if you want that one. And talking of the Japanesey fabrics, we've got, I did packs of them. So there's the Japanesey fabrics, they're all very cute. So there's a pack of 8 and they're 24, so they're on offer as well. So they're very cute. Of course, everything in an organza bag, as you do. Hexy bag is fab. Thank you. If I've missed anyone's comments, I'll look through later. So that is the Foxy kit. You've got the lining in, which is why the Foxy kit is more than the doggy kit. Okay, so the doggy kit hasn't got lining in, but it's got all your feature fabrics. And the Foxy kit is, because I used the yellow to line the handle, I've used that on the line. Have I used that on the lining? No, I haven't, but I've put that in for lining. Why didn't I use that in the lining? I meant to use it in the lining. I tell you what, I lost the plot this week. I'm not with it. So there's enough of that. There's like 1/3 of a metre in the kit of that. So there's another mistake I've done as well. So let's move on to, swiftly, our Busy Bee bag. So the Busy Bee bag, so this thread, the S301, I think there's only 1 of them left, but there's more on the way. I think I've ordered another 25, so they're on the way from Canada. So this was originally a pattern for like a little cushion slash wall hanging. And I did a needle book as well, but I thought we'd do it because this fits in our folder that we did the other week, fits in nicely to this bag. So it's about 18.5 inches when you're finished with it. I have done a YouTube video, I haven't uploaded it yet, so I'll let you know when I upload it. I'll probably upload it tomorrow morning or something. So by the time you've got the pattern, you'll be able to follow along with Tube on how I made it. So what I used to make this was, in addition to the, where are they? There's still a few of the fat quarter packs left, and in the fat quarter packs you get a free little stitchery panel. So there's still a few fat quarter packs of the Queen Bee. Just looking at artistic interpretation, yeah. That sounds about me. I'm sorry to sniff, I'm gonna have to get tissue in a minute. I've done some fat 8 packs. So a fat 8 pack will do most of this bag and the little, so we've done a little needle book. As I say, I've got a YouTube video which I'll be uploading tomorrow or later tonight whenever I remember, and that's the inside. So it's just a little needle book, so it all matches in. You've got a little needle book to go with that, and it'll all go in your bag. As I say, I used a fat 8 pack will make most of this. You're going to need, I used some yarn dye, and I think I put some fat quarters on the website. This is the lingerie colour. Why it's called lingerie, I don't know, but that's what I used for this. So yarn dye is just like a very soft, it's like linen, but it's not linen. It's a lot softer. It's nice to stitch on. So you can, on the pattern, when you have the pattern, actually you can buy the pattern on its own. Where is it? It's down by you. The pattern, you get 2 B buttons in it as well. So the pattern has got the needle book and the bag, and the original one, which was like, I used Lynette Anderson B fabrics originally. So with that one I appliqued everything, and this one I decided to just stitch it. So it's just simple log cabin, my usual bag handles, usual easy zip. And then I had a load of strips of fabric left over, so I just pieced the back with the strips that I had left over. So you'll get most of it from a fat 8 pack. If you've got a fat quarter pack, you'll get like a few of them out of a fat quarter pack, but you will need a piece of linen or the yarn dye or something to do your stitchery on. Okay, so I haven't done kits specifically for this. There's patterns. I know a lot of you have already got the fat quarter pack, so I'm thinking if you've already got the fat quarter packs, you can use that. You could use that Busy Bee stitchery on the back of your needle book or the front of it instead of piecing it, because it's about the same size. I think this is about 6 inches square. It's getting hot in here. Whew, already. What's the time? Okay, good. We've got 10 minutes. So that's the bag to put this in, and the needle book. Now I'm just going to grab a tissue a minute. Apologies about this. Excuse me, I don't lose my voice. Right, let's have a look at the list of what else I'm supposed to tell you. Oh yeah, okay. Right, so that's that. Lots of options. Again, there's, what have we got? We've got mini, that's a mini charm pack from the bag. The pretty Japanese fabric, some mini foxy charms, just to say you need 2 if you're making this. Right, sparkly thread. There's more sparkly thread on the way. I discovered I was stitching using my normal little tiny number 8 needles, and this is far easier if you use a chenille needle. I use the tulip needles, and I've only got 3 packs of the chenille needles left, but I shall order some more next week when I try and remember whatever my password is for their blinking website, because they won't let you phone up and order. You have to do it online. So, and I haven't ordered any for ages, because I normally order like dozens and dozens at a time, so I'm just about running out of them. So if you use a chenille needle, so I've done this one in the sparkly thread, the holly and the ivy one. I started off using the little needle, and then I tried the chenille needle, and it was a lot quicker and a lot easier. Obviously it's not as easy to stitch with metallic thread as it is with normal thread, but if you use a chenille needle it's really easy. But again, just keep your thread short, okay? And then I've just used the normal red on the outside, so it's the same as all the other stitchery panels. And if you didn't see the picture, I'd done a daisy one as well, so I finished that off this week. There are more on the way. Excuse me, I need a tissue again. There are more stitcheries on the way. How many did I draw? 3 hearts, and I did, there's a new stitchery called the Potting Shed, so it's a gardening themed one, and I've also got a surprise panel, so it's an experiment. So she's sending me the sample of what she's done. So there's 4 little panels that I did ages ago that I made it into a little wall hanging that had particularly tiny piecing around it, like 1/4 square triangle blocks made with 2.5-inch squares. They come down to about like 1.5 inches. So they're printing me up, so it's ready printed panel. So all you have to do is the stitcheries in the middle of the panel, and then it's a printed border. So you can just do the stitchery and you haven't got to worry about doing all the piecing and stuff. Plus I haven't got to cut loads of Morning Bev 2.5-inch pats to go with it. So that's hopefully on the way. So I'm going to chase that up on Monday, and I'm going to see where my threads are on Monday. What else have I got to remember? I don't know. All sorts of stuff. So we'll have a recap of everything in a minute. Let's have a look at my list. Use chenille needles with sparkly thread. Yeah, that's everything. Everything I had on my list, and it's getting warm. How warm is it with you lot? Has anyone actually managed to do any stitching the past few days? I just couldn't do anything last night. I think I sat outside and had dinner about 7:30. I've not been in the house. It's just been too hot. I don't know. You see pictures of people sitting on the beach doing sewing on the beach, and I'm thinking, oh, no, I couldn't stand it. Plus all the sand. No. I was originally going to do Christmas in July this week. Oh, no, I can't face it. It's too hot. And the new panel has got like a bit of a Christmas theme in part of it, so we'll wait till that gets here before we do any Christmassy stuff. And then that's another thing that's coming. There's Christmassy fabrics coming that I've ordered that I've forgotten I ordered. So they sent me an email on Thursday saying your Christmas fabrics are coming tomorrow, but they didn't come on Friday. So that's what I've got to chase up on Monday. No, far too hot. Yeah, I agree, Chris. My sewing room is in a converted attic. Oh gosh, I bet that's absolutely unbearable. I had all the good intentions of going out and sorting out the other shed and tidying it up. But it's unbearable in there this week, so I haven't done that. So should we just go over everything I've got today before I send you down to the West Country? Let's start at the beginning. Next weekend, if everything comes and I've got stuff cut up, I'll do a live next Sunday. Yeah. So we'll see what arrives this week. So everything always arrives at once. So if we get all the new, it might be Christmas in July. Is it still? Yeah, it's still July next weekend. It might be Christmas in July next weekend. It's cool here at the. Oh, lucky you. Oh, I wondered how you were cutting fabric outside, Joe. As Joe and Andy are at their caravan in Skegness. They've got that nice. You've got a nice easterly cool breeze, have you? And we're just boiling. I looked at my temperature on the phone yesterday, and it was hotter here than London. So that's something for it to be that hot in West Wales. And I'm not moaning, but it could just be a couple of degrees cooler. I think by tomorrow it's going to be cooler. So the amusing box, 38 fat quarters of Moda Muse, plus a mini charm pack. For £100 should be 100 and what should it be? About 160, I think it should be. And I made 10 boxes with the help of Jess. And remind me, I've got to pay Jess. I'm going to write that down now because I'm sure I forgot to pay her. Pay Jess. Oh dear. Yeah. So I think there were 7 boxes left before I started the live, so if you want one and you can afford it, go for one of those. It's far better value than buying your mini pack. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Elf. She said there's 5 boxes left. Thank you. So there's 5 boxes left. So going, gone, and I'm not doing any more. I think I've cut up about half the bolts of fabric that came, making room for some more, because apparently there's a load of fabric on a ship from Canada. Everything seems to come from Canada now. Load more Moda stuff on its way. So I think we're waiting for Blackbird Designs to come next. So I'm hoping that's on its way, because that's particularly lovely. So let's do the quick recap and ask you the maths question again. So I cut 38 bolts of fabric up for the of the Moda Muse. How many pieces of fabric did I cut? And the clue is under 15,000. So that is a big clue. Think about it. Think what I normally give you as a clue, and then do a guess. Okay, so if you guess 2,000, no. Okay, so there's another clue. And you will get a huge, massive bag of some of the Moda Muse in there. It's a bit of everything that's on this show. It's just like Create and Craft, isn't it? A bit of everything in there. So all the things that I've done today, there's a bit of everything in a very big bag of stuff. Somebody else who orders will get picked randomly. I use a random number generator that goes from 0 to however many orders I've got. And then last week Lynn won it, which was well handy, because she popped in to see me last week, so I didn't have to post it, so that saved my postage. So carry on guessing, and I will give you the answer to the maths question and tell you who won the prize on Tuesday. What's the time? Yeah, we've got 4 minutes. That's all right then. Yeah, I'll give you the answer on Tuesday. So the prize was, there's 2, 4, 6, 8 fat quarters and 2 mini charm packs in a bag. Okay, and they're a mixture of, there's some French General and some Lynette Anderson in there, I think, and a Kath Holden. Random, from when I last did a random goodie box full of fabric. So there were a few bits left in a box, so I've shoved them in a bag for somebody. Kits for Foxy and kits for that one. In case you missed it, this one's cheaper because it didn't have lining fabric in. And then I've realised I put the lining fabric in this one, but the lining fabric is yellow, although I put cream in the bag. I was supposed to put yellow in the bag. I don't know what's the matter with me this week. I think it's the heat, that's my excuse. So there's Foxy, Doggy, and then a nice Moda Muse one. Or you could make one if you get the where are they? The Fat 8 packs for the Queen Bee. You could make a Queen Bee one. In the pattern, in the instructions, there is there's a bunny, there's a foxy, and there's a doggy in the pattern. So you can either stitch them or applique them. In the original one, I appliqued the fox, and I did the handles a lot shorter. I found if you do 30 inches each side, you just tighten a knot at the top. It just sits not well. It sits nice on my hip. Unless you're really like short, you might want to make it shorter, but you can just tie a bigger knot in the end. Any more questions before I disappear and go and put my feet in that paddling pool? So I hope you're all packed up and ready and got your swimmers on, because you're going down to Cornwall in a sec. Go down to Newquay Beach in Cornwall as opposed to Newquay Beach in Wales. Yeah, just maths questions, so no more questions. So I will, hopefully I'll be back next Sunday if everything arrives. So and I will upload the tube video for this bag. So there's a tube video already for the little messenger bags. I'll upload the video. I did them both on the same day. I'll upload the video for that one either later tonight or tomorrow, but I will put a note on the website when I've uploaded it. So by the time you get your patterns and stuff, it'll be there. I've packed enough stuff for the postie to take tomorrow, because I'm limited to how many the postie will take. So I don't really want to be in here packing parcels this afternoon, because the sellotape's got to where it isn't sticky, it just stretches. It's so hot in here. So there we are. So I'm going to send you down to Cornwall. Thank you everybody for watching. We really appreciate you, and especially on a weekend like this when it's so hot, and I'm sure people just want to get on and do whatever you're going to do. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. I'll upload this to Tube as well afterwards, just in case you've missed it or you've come in late, so you can catch up with everything. Okay, so thank you, and I will sign off and send you down to Cornwall. Okay, touch bye.